I am actually, in this sense. I'm going to answer your question.
That's why I'm asking.
So, Joel, I'm only going to give you a moment or two. No, I'm trying to answer you. I am an Israelite. I am of
tribe.
Listen to me. I'm going to finish my.
It's easy.
Okay, so Joel, I know the tactics.
It's an easy question.
I know. I'm answering the question.
Okay, what is it?
I am an Israelite in the truest sense of the word, because no man is a Jew based on his birth. No man is a Jew based on his tribe. No man is a Jew based on his tribe. No man is a Jew based on his family lineage. A person is truly Jewish. A person is truly an Israelite if he has been born again inwardly by the Spirit of God through repentance and faith in Jesus Christ.
How do you be born again?
God causes a person to be.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 2, and verse 29. I'm reading the KJV and in the NLT. It says, but he is a Jew, which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart, in the spirit, and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of God. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahushai. Yahweh is the Most High God, and Yahushai is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of great millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. The one that they continue to endure and be sincere. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth, teaching His word and believing His word. The one that they continue in the same spirit to endure and be sincere. And shalom to the Akwatiyam that are believers in the faith and the truth. The one that they continue to pursue their lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous woman. This lesson is a correction to what I guess this so-called Edomite was trying to bring out in Romans 2 and 29. So we're going to correct a few things, right? To be a Jew inwardly does not take away being a descendant, from that royal seed, which is sperma, right? So we get a few verses. Go before, let me read this in NLT. It says, no, a true Jew is one whose heart is right with God, right? Your mind. And true circumcision is not merely obeying the letter of the law. Rather, it is a change of heart, a change of mind, produced by God, by God's Spirit. And a person with a changed heart seeks praise from God and not from people. Right, so you have to have your thinking and your mind changed. I'm gonna go to a verse in Romans, the 12th chapter, verse 2, and read it in NLT, because it kind of say what I just said. It says, "Don't copy the behavior and the customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect." Right, so the main point of being in this ministry or to be an Israelite is to have a changed mind, right? By letting the Lord move you. And it really just goes off of, the righteousness or the righteous acts or ways we can move in this world, by the edification of the Psalms, the Gospels, the law, what the prophets, what the apostles was bringing out. And you apply it in your everyday life because worse is yet to come, and you're going to want a new mind, a better mind, and a better way of thinking in order to overcome the world like Yahushai, right? Very plain and very simple. So again, in that verse, it says, let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. How can you let God change the way you think? By building up your faith, hearing the word, reading the word. Revelations 1 and 3 are classic. Blessed is he that readeth the word. Blessed is he that heareth the prophecies and do them. We have to apply the things that we hear in this word to be an actual Israelite. Now, there's a verse where you go to Romans 9 and 6, and it says, KJV, it says, not as though the word of God have taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are Israel, right? They're Israel, but to really be an Israelite is you're moving the way Yahweh Hashem Yahushua required you to move, right? An Israelite is somebody that obeys or obedient to the Lord. You know, Yahushua is the prime example of that, being obedient to the Lord, right? When you go to Sirach chapter 2, verse 15 down to 18, when we do the things that's pleasing to the Lord, obey his words, he will fill us with the law. And it's going to be naturally, right? Because every day you're reading, you're intaking what is the Lord's requirement. What is that? Deuteronomy 10 and 12, right? So let's go to a history classic in Exodus. You know, this is Exodus chapter 3 and verse 15 to 18 in the KJV. It says, and God said moreover unto Moses, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, the Lord Yahweh, power of your fathers, right? So Yahweh is the power of our fathers. Who is our fathers? The God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Jacob is the father of the 12 patriarchs, which the descendants of his 12 sons is in the earth, right? It says, have sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations, right? All generations of Israel. This is the memorial of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Go and gather the elders of Israel together and say unto them, the Lord Yahweh God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob appeared unto me, saying, I have surely visited you and seen that which is done to you in Egypt. So we always go back into the history of the scriptures, because then we really know who the Lord is talking about, right? Because the Lord is talking about the same nation he took out of Egypt. Even in the time of Rome, they were able to remember their past. Like in the time we're in now, in order to really identify who he is through the Spirit, we go back to the beginning, right? That prophecy that was told to Abraham in Genesis, the 15th chapter, that his descendants will go into a land that's not theirs, right? And be in that captivity for 400 years, right? Verse 17, it says, and I have said, I will bring you up out of the affliction of Egypt into a land of the Canaanites. It's only one nation he brought to the Canaanites that was going to be their possession, which is the 12 tribes of Israel, right? And the Lord did allow a few of these Canaanites to remain in that land to approve Israel. That's in Judges chapter 3, right? But this was the land that was promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the 12 tribes. So it says the land of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, unto a land flowing with milk and honey. So like your family, let me put this on do not disturb, right? It says, verse 18, and they shall hearken to my Salaki, and they shall hearken to thy voice, and thou shalt come, thou and the elders of Israel, unto the king of Egypt, and ye shall say unto him, the Lord Yahweh, God of the Hebrews, have met with us, and now let us go, and we beseech thee 3 days, journey into the wilderness, that we may sacrifice to the Lord Yahweh our power. Now we know that under Shem it was multiple Hebrews, but this is specific, directed towards only to the 12 tribes of Israel. You know that he's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the God of the Hebrews. Talking about the Hebrew Israelites. Amos chapter 3, verse 1 and 2. Let's just get it. Let's just get that. Let's just get it. Amos chapter 3, verse 1 and 2. Hear this word that the Lord Yahweh have spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. You know, our sin upon sin. And we sin against the Lord because we transgress against his laws, statutes, and commandments. We're the only nation that does, because the law was given unto us, right? I'm going to go to Numbers chapter 36 in verse 5 and 7. Verse 5 to 7. In the KJV, it says, "And Moses commanded the children of Israel according to the word of the Lord Yahweh, saying, The tribe of the sons of Joseph have said, Well, this is the thing which the Lord Yahweh doeth command concerning the daughters of Zelophehad, saying, Let them marry to whom they think best. Only to the family of the tribe of their father shall they marry. So shall not the inheritance of the children of Israel remove from tribe to tribe, for every one of the children of Israel shall keep himself an inheritance of the tribe of his father." Make it make sense. If it's about you just only being an inward Israelite, right? And it's not about why would it say, the inheritance is for Israel, it goes by the tribe of their father, right? So when you go into Judah, we go into Ephraim, we go into Manasseh, all of them had their own inheritance. No other nation can just get grafted in, right? When you go to Romans 11, that's talking about the Israelites, right? The ones that fell away from the Lord, like Gentiles, they get to get drafted in. They get to get drafted back in, like through the adoption of Yahushua dying on the cross for the sins of Israel. We're the only nation that have the room to repent, because it was given unto us. When we go to the classic in Numbers 1 and 18, right, which this goes into like war, right, dealing with the boys, Numbers 1 and 18, "And they assemble all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declare the pedigree," right, after their families, right, the ancestry, right, of their after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names of the from 20 years old and upward by their pools, right? So it all comes by the man, right? The man's seed. I did a lesson on I think it was Romans 1 and 3, where Yahushua comes from. Let me just, because I don't want to butcher it, right? Romans 1 and 3, it says, "Concerning the son of Yahushua Mashiach, our Lord, which was made of the seed of David according to the flesh," right? So this is going to show us how he became a Judite, right? How is Yahushua from the tribe of Judah, right? Because he comes out of the loins or the lineage of David, right? From descendant in Joseph, right? So when you go into this word
Strong's G 4690, sperma.
Is sperma, right? And I want to get to the point. Sperma, right? The product of the semen, seed, children, offspring, right? This what it is. Semen, seed, right? Children, offspring. That's what sperm is an offspring. What is sperm? Is semen, right? And so every man has semen in his McNuggets, and you have a nationality. If nationalities is done away with, why everybody has, I'm African American, you're Jamaican, you're Puerto Rican, you're Italian. If nationalities has no meaning at all, why do everybody have a nationality? You have to ask that. Nobody can just become a Jew. Now I know it is some vocab Malone and some things going on about in the time of Esther, where some people became Jews. They only became Jews because they converted to our ways. That doesn't mean by blood, by the seed, by the sperm that they're Jews, right? If I was a Arab and I wanted to keep the ways of the Israelites, I might convert my beliefs to follow their ways, to move like an Israelite or to move like a true believer, right? But by blood, I am not an Israelite. That's what that would mean, And it is people that might cleave to our ways, but as a nation, as a nation, no nation is an Israelite. just because they convert to our ways. No nation, because they convert to our ways, they're going to get saved from their enemies. They don't fit the narrative of we're in captivity because we have sinned. We're in captivity as a whole nation from generation to generation because of our sins. No other nation. So even if you come in this thing, you're not going to fit the benefits of the curses that was bestowed on us because we turned our back on our power, right? So let's, we got that in Numbers. Let's go to these other precepts I would like, so let me go back to Romans 2:29 again. Let's read that in the KJV again. It said, but he is a Jew, which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart, in the spirit, and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of God. Right? A true Jew is one inwardly, basically, where your mind, your heart, it's right or changed in God. That's it. That's all that means by being a Jew inwardly. It's not outwardly. And we have some history verses that we can go to because Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, don't look at us like how humans do, right? First, let me get this classic verse. This is Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 10. In the KJV, it says, I, the Lord Yahweh, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. The Lord is looking at the heart, but that still don't take away that you have a nationality. But what makes you be a believer or a child of the Lord is the way you move or where your heart lays. To me, that's very simple to understand. First Samuel chapter 16, verse 17. And if you're reading, this should be a classic to you. It says, but the Lord Yahweh said unto Samuel, because Samuel the Lord has sent to go to Jesse to get his anointed, right? And he's looking at each son. So, but the Lord Yahweh said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance, his appearance, or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord Yahweh seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord Yahweh looketh on the heart. Right? The Lord is always looking at the mind, because the mind holds the character. Where is it? Matthew 6 and 21. Wherever your heart is, that's where your treasure lay. Right? So that identify you truly as a believer, a follower, a son, a daughter of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Your nationality, it just shows what nation you come from, right? But to be a servant, it all comes from the heart. Your spirit is in your heart, where your mind is at, right? Let's try another one in the history. Let's go to First Chronicles, Salaki. First Chronicles chapter 29, verse 17. In the KJV, it says, I know also, my God, that thou triest the heart and hast pleasure in uprightness, which is righteousness. As for me, in the righteousness of my heart, I have willingly offered all these things. And now have I seen with joy thy people, which are present here, to offer willingly unto thee. I went to this because he said that thou triest the heart. The Lord, when you see in the NLT, that I like that word exam, it says, I know, my God, that you examine our hearts and rejoice when you find integrity there. I have done all this with good motives, Salaki, and I have watched your people offer their gifts willingly and joyously, right? The Lord is examining our hearts. That's how he could tell if you is his child, right? If you are a true believer. That's what make you an Israelite inwardly. Some of us try to be an Israelite outwardly, but the flesh is not willing. The flesh is weak, but the spirit is always willing. Why do you think, of course, the apostles, they always say, especially for the men, make sure you're teaching, you're doing it daily, let alone not only teaching, reading, make sure you praying, right? Because we got to get in this thing, right? And it helps us to separate ourselves from this world. It doesn't matter what any man, any woman, any child going through. You have to know Yahweh Shem Shai is watching us at all times. So for us being a human, and out of all his creations, like a brother said at camp, all creations obey the Lord. The trees, the wind, the air, the animals, all things obey Yahweh Shem Shai. We're the only creation. The human is flesh, is the only creation that go against the Lord. Look at Esau going against the Lord. He's even in the flesh, fully in the flesh. But even us Israelites, we're in the flesh, and the more that we read, the more that we take lessons serious, the more that it becomes a part of us. But it's not your flesh, it's the inward you, because this flesh is going to die. Ecclesiastes 12:7. But the spirit go to the Lord. So if that's the case, you're really working the spirit within you. Every lesson, every chapter you read is building your spirit, but you have to believe what you're reading. Sometimes you might wake up and you want to eat some food, right? But it might draw you to be like, what, let me read first. Let me do a lesson, right? Because your body is empty. And when you look at these scriptures, 2 Ezra 8:4, swallow down the understanding, devour the word. You eat the word, you eat the whole roll. You want to get spiritually fed, because it's a war going on. We're in a battle, between the sinners, the left-hand side. This is a battle, and to be an Israelite is to be one inwardly, right? How you think and how you move. It's not just skin complexion, your naturally is a point. But again, Romans 9:6, all Israel ain't Israel. So you could be an Israelite all you want, but if you're not moving or thinking or believing like a true Israelite in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you're not an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? Right? Let's get this in Jeremiah 4:14. This is Jeremiah chapter 4 and verse 14. It says, O Jerusalem, wash thy heart from wickedness, that thou mayest be saved. How long shall thy vain thoughts lodge within thee? Right? This is another reason why in each captivity, the Lord is showing mercy to give us a chance to cleanse our heart from wickedness, from our laziness, our worry, whatever we could be going through that's in the flesh, to please the Lord. Because the main focus is to get to the kingdom, So an Israelite that moves inwardly, believe in the Lord inwardly, right? Believe in this word, right? And it's in the inward part, right? The Lord is the one that increase you. If you're not increased, it's because you're still moving in the flesh, right? What did John say in chapter St. John 3:30? He said, he must increase and I must decrease. What is he meaning? Yahweh Shem Shai must increase within you. And that comes with you believing. Start with the name and then getting into the doctrine. And you could tell if you believe by how you move. Every day we should be growing. How can another nation be an Israelite? How can they be grafted in? This man just said that I am a true Israelite, and it's not by the tribe, it's not by the blood, it's because I'm an Israelite inwardly. Now, if his father don't trace back to the 12 tribes of Israel, and he is a so-called Edomite or whatever nationality that this man can be, or anybody, an African, a Chinese, if they don't fit with the prophecies, the curses of who the people is, they're not an Israelite. Now, they're probably converted where they're walking away and actually believing in this truth. But we see in the scriptures, he's not truly believing in the Lord. First, he calling this dude a black Hebrew Israelite, where we were not called black Hebrew Israelite. Hebrew is the language we spoke. Israelite goes into the nationality, right? Because Ite goes into who you descend from. We descend from Jacob, which is name turned to Israel, right? That's from seed, sperma, semen, right? Offspring. So you have to be an offspring to be an Israelite, to be a Jew, right? People, a lot of y'all getting this twisted because it say you got to be a Jew inwardly, thinking that just push away you being a offspring of somebody that is an Israelite. That's off, right? Let's go to another one, right? This is in the gospel. This is Matthew 23. And this is a beautiful example too, which is towards the Pharisees. Verse 23, it says, "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye pay tithes of mint and nice and common, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone. Ye blind guides, which strain at in naught and swallow a camel. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees." Salaki, my alarm came off. Let me read verse 25 again. "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye may clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excession." I'm going to stop right there. Now, you see that example, how he just said you clean the outside of a cup and of the platter? So you got to think, the Lord gave you an example when you washing dishes. You know, this is why you always analyze when you washing dishes, right? How you scrubbing. And even though you scrubbed it with soap, before you rinse it off, you want to make sure ain't no sticky food still on the plate or on the bottom, because you're gonna do a deep cleaning on them dishes, you know. But like he was talking about the cup, you wash the outside but not the inside. And that's us. We have to wash the inside of our temple, you know, and that's the spirit, you know. You might wash the flesh, but this word is more beneficial for the spirit, right? Verse 26, it says, "Thou blind Pharisee, cleanse first that which is within the cup and platter, that the outside of them may be clean also." So you want to clean the inside where your coffee is in. Your coffee is mostly in the inside. Yes, it might spill on the outside. You put your lip on a cup, it might drip down. Some people got a hole in their chin, right? And you clean the outside, but the main part you clean the inside, because you're gonna put something else to drink in that cup, right? In the plate, you're not just gonna only do the bottom. You're gonna do the top of the plate or the inside of a bowl, because that's where the food is at, you know. So you want to cleanse first that which is within the cup and the platter, that the outside of them may be clean. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like unto whitened sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead man's bones and of uncleanness, right? Dead man's bone, that remind me of Ezekiel 37 or Revelations 11 and 8. You know, they're dead from the neck up. If you're not cleansing yourself in the inward part, being an inward Israelite, right, you're dead. This is why we were Gentiles in the flesh. I think that says it in Ephesians chapter 2. We were Gentiles of the flesh, you know. We can only be spiritual when we abide in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. If you're a Gentile in the flesh, you're moved by the left-hand side, but you're not of the spirit. Being of the spirit is being of the righteous spirit, right? Verse 28, it says, "Even so ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity," right? Right? You might look righteous on the outside, but in the inward, you're false. You're late. You're so on and so on and so on. The real character matters in the inside, and it will be brought on the outside. You know, and it's really look like window shopping. You can see it look good in the outside, but when you get in there, it looks terrible, right? That's why you have to be an Israelite or a believer inwardly, right? So it can be seen outwardly, right? Let me get this. St. John chapter 4, verse 23. It says, "But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship me, shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him." Right? The Spirit is within you. That's how we worship the Lord, within ourselves. You get your insides right. You get your spirit right with the Lord. That's how it draws you to pray. That's how it draws you to apply it in your life. It's the Spirit. The flesh is weak, but the Spirit is willing. The Spirit is going to be willing to apply it in its life, right? Let's go to this other precept, I believe. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 4. It says, "But let it be the hidden man of the heart, in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the Spirit of God of great price." Right? In the NLT, "You should clothe yourselves instead with the beauty that comes from within, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is so precious to God." Right? Which this goes into women, right? When you read up a little bit, I think starting at verse 1, that goes into women. But even the men should be clothed with they should be clothed with that inside beauty, right? And that's the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Lord, right? That's gonna make you stand out, right? What is it? I think in Sirach, the 6th chapter. This is why when you, if you don't have the wisdom of the Lord, guess what? She's gonna be unpleasant with you, right? And then to the world, you're gonna seem like you don't believe in the Lord, especially to somebody that do believe in the Lord and in this work, right? Or if you do get wisdom, don't let her go. This is why, all the things on this side. That's why this is the worst captivity, because it gives us so many distractions. It gives so many things that take you out of the spirit. The food that you eat, was watching this cute dog on a YouTube video last night before I went to bed, and the dog was using the bathroom, right? Boo-booing, right? Salaki. And it was pooping parasites, So you got to know us, the certain foods that we eat. If you eat meat all the damn time, right, it's going to weigh in your temple different. This is why sometimes you might take a break. You might go pasta salad, or you might have salad. You might do fruit, right? You might just do beans or rice, or however it might be. You might do soup, something light. The things that we intake in us is going to affect us in the long run. So the more you intake things that is spiritual, the more you'll be able to endure. The flesh is not going to be able to endure what's going to come, but the spirit is going to be able to endure, right? Like this man saying inwardly, right? A lot of people, especially other nations, that bring this inwardly. I'm a Jew inwardly. I'm a true Israelite. But when it comes to Jacob's trouble, they're not bringing out these prophecies, preparing the people. They're not of the people. Just because you're another nation, and that's my question again. If it don't matter what tribe, what nationality you have, it matters on you being an inwardly Jew. Anybody can be an inwardly Jew. Then why do people have nationalities today? That's the question you have to ask yourself, because that would sound stupid if tribes and nationalities don't matter. It matters on if you're a Jew inwardly. So you could be a Jew or Israelite if you change the way you think. So anybody can be an Israelite. Anybody can be an Israelite, which Israelite is a nationality. That doesn't make sense. I can't just say now I'm going to eat egg rolls and rats and all of that. I'm going to be a Chinese. No, that's me following their customs, their ways, what they eat, what they believe in. Now I'm walking like a Gentile, right? So I'm not even considered an Israelite, but by blood, I am still an Israelite. So how is it if Yahweh Shai is sending Paul to speak to the Gentiles, and these Gentiles is Israelites? They just move, act, and seem like the other nations, but they're really Israelites. But hey, that's either here nor there, right? So let me get two more, because you have to have circumcision. Circumcision is of the heart, which is in Romans 2:29. So I'm gonna get probably 2 or 3 more verses, and then we'll end it. This is Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 16. I'll start at 15. It says, only the Lord had a delight in thy fathers to love them, and he chose their seed after them, even you above all people, as it is this day. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. We see the word seed again, right?
Strong's H2233.
Zerah, right? The seed sowing, offspring, right? Semen, viral, right? Offspring, descendant, right? That's what that is. This seed is an offspring, right? When you go into NLT, it says descendant, right? It says, yet the Lord Yahweh chose your ancestors, right? These ancestors have to be somebody that falls into the root of Israel, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, as the subjects of his love. He chose you, their descendants, above all other nations, as is evident today, right? So he chose these people over all nations, right? And nations is different people, different culture backgrounds, right? Different beliefs. That's a nation, right? Let's get this one. Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 6. It says, and the Lord Yahweh thy power will circumcise thy heart in the heart of thy seed, to love the Lord Yahweh thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live, right? He's going to circumcise, change your heart. So when you go to the physical circumcision, you cut off the foreskin, right? And it's going to change the look of a man's, Oscar, right? But when it comes to you being circumcised in the heart, your mind is getting changed. It's going through a transformation. That's why to come in this faith, you must be transformed, right? Let's get this third one. This is Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 4. In the KJV, it says, circumcise yourselves to the Lord Yahweh, and take away the foreskins of your heart, ye men of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem, lest my fury come forth like fire and burn, that none can quench it, because of the evil of your doings, right? So you have to cut the foreskin, right? Cut the foreskin. Whatever comes with the left-hand side, you want to cut it. And it's a word in the scripture where we say we mortify. Mortify means to put to death. Mortify. Romans chapter 8, verse 13. If ye live after the flesh, ye shall die. But if ye through the Spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live. Right? So if you mortify the deeds of the body, the deeds of the flesh, what is mortify? Let's get that word.
Strong's G2289.
Thahataho, right? Mortify means to put to death, right? Metaphor to make to die or destroy, render extinction, right? So to extinct, Salaki, you're supposed to put to death the flesh nature, right? That human nature. You want to destroy it, right? Again, Romans 8 and 13. If we live after the flesh, we shall die. But if ye through the Spirit Do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live. The spirit is going to draw you to put to death the things or the nature of the flesh, because the flesh is not willing, but the spirit is. You have to put it to death. You have to kill it. It's like a virus. You know, when you're sick, you take all these certain medicines to kill that sickness. Some of us take Buckley's where it might work better. You know, you might have a certain type of sickness where you might have to take Benadryl, or you might have to take a Tylenol. You got a headache or an ibuprofen. You're trying to kill the virus. You have a stomach flu or stomach bug. You try to get something to kill the virus, right? What they try to say, if you got COVID, come get the vaccine, because you're trying to kill the virus, even though that's putting other things in you. But that's what it is. You want to kill the virus. That's what mortify is. You want to put to death the human nature. The human nature is going to get you killed. The human nature is not getting you in the kingdom, you know? And we know you have to take accountability. Man, I know I'm in the flesh. I know I'm this. But you have to know that you're in a battle against, you're in a battle against the flesh. That's Galatians 5:16-17. The flesh is against the spirit against the flesh. We're at an all-time war every day, but we cannot allow the spirit, the flesh to win. That is how we are an Israelite inwardly. You can look like an Israelite outwardly, but are you an Israelite, a child of Yahweh Hashem Shai inwardly? You know, it's better to be both. You don't want to just be an Israelite outwardly and not one inwardly. Now, you could be an Israelite inwardly and you can care less about your appearance. You know, you got some brothers that live low, look bummy, but they serve in the Lord, right? Because they can care less about the outward appearance. Some of us is, hey, I want to look handsome. I want to do this, but all that handsome and beauty, just like what we read in 1 Peter chapter 3, it was going into women, verse 1 down to 4. So outside of the jewelry, the dresses, the glamour that a woman can bring, is she an Israelite inwardly? You know, and this is why we us men, women, and children must show ourselves approved unto the Lord, that we are an Israelite inwardly and outwardly, that we're cleaning the inside of the vessel, which is ourselves, and the outside. You take a shower, you're cleaning the inside. A lot of us is cleaning the outside when we get in the shower. Sometimes you might take a detox. You might fast. That fast is cleaning the inside. It's literally cleaning the inside. So you see two different ways of cleaning your body. You wash your outside. You brush your teeth where you gotta go in your mouth, right? You cleaning that. You got snot. You blow your nose to push whatever inside, right? But to do a deep inside clean, you might detox. You know, you might fast. You know, even more, you're reading, you're hearing the word. You know, it's so much that you can do to clean the inside, you know, but the outside, you wash your body, right? But just a side precept, and we go in, St. John 15:3. I am washed by the word, and that's how we get clean. So Lord willing, this is edifying to the hopeful elect. We're going to play this video again, and then we're going to end it. Want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahushai. Lord willing, you was edified, and Lord willing, you can take this correct understanding of being a Jew inwardly knowing that they are still Israelites, right? And want to give double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. Lord willing that they can continue to endure and be sincere. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same spirit. Lord willing that they can endure and be sincere. And shalom to the Akwatiyim that are believers of the faith and the truth. Continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. With that, shalom. Shalom.